Okay, so using these macros up here at the top, which should be your target numbers, I'm going to show you how to build out your day, trying to allocate those macros equally across your meals. So we're just going to build out the meals, and then with whatever's left over, we will do snacks. So if I know that I need to hit 110 grams of protein by the end of the day, 200 grams of carbs, and 75 grams of fat, then I'm going to divide those numbers by 3. So 100 divided by 3 is 33. So that means I probably want to try to get anywhere between like 25 to 30 grams of protein, and anything that's left over can be allocated towards a snack. And then for carbs, 66 grams of protein, or 66 grams of carbs per meal. So obviously 66 grams of carbs per meal is quite a bit. So if we did 45 grams of carbs per meal, that would mean that we have about 65 grams that we could allocate to our snacks. So maybe 2 snacks with like around 30 grams. And then that 70 grams, if we divide that by 3, that's about 23 grams of fat per snack or per meal, which is a pretty reasonable amount, but you're probably going to want more. Actually, I think it's 75. So 25 grams, but you're probably going to want some fat at your snack. So I would say if you can allocate about 15 grams per meal, 15 to 20, then that will leave you some left for snacks. So going back to Cronometer. Okay, so let's start with the lunch that you already had started prepping out. So we'll just say ground beef, for example. I'm going to choose the most common. Go ahead and put in whatever leanness you prepared, whether it's 85%, 80%, 90, 93. And then, like we said, we want to try to get 25 to 30 grams of protein. So you can see where it says energy summary and then it says protein 7.4 grams. So if we want to get to 25 grams, then that means we probably need to have around 3 to 4 ounces. So I would go ahead and just do 3.5 ounces. You can also do this in grams. This is probably going to be 100 grams, which you can see. You kind of just have to sometimes play around with it. Like let's say you did 125 grams, that's 32 grams of protein. So 100 grams, you'd weigh that out on your scale. You'd put add to diary. And then let's say you did some potatoes. So if we want to get 45 grams of carbs, we're going to switch this to grams. So note this is cooked potatoes, not raw. So 100 grams of potatoes have 21 grams of carbs. So that means 200 grams of potatoes are pretty darn close. So at 43 grams of carbs. So we're going to hit add to diary. And then any type of vegetable that you want to add, veggies, as you'll be able to see, or let's do broccoli. Broccoli, or really any vegetable, as you'll see, is going to be very low in calories. So like let's say you do 100 grams of cooked broccoli. That's very minuscule amounts of macros. So we're just going to put add to diary. And then like, let's say you cooked those vegetables in oil. And let's say you used half of a tablespoon. We're going to add that to the diary. So now you can see that your lunch provided you with 31% of the protein, 25% from carbs, and 29% of fat, which you can see that at the very top of your screen. So those are really like on target, because if you think about it, a meal is about, if you're eating 3 meals, and it should be close to a third of the calories that you're eating for a day. So let's do dinner. So we're going to do the same type of concept for dinner. This time, let's say chicken. So if we want to try to get about 25 to 30 grams of protein, let's change that to 3 ounces. So 3 to 3.5 is probably going to be the sweet spot for the meats for you. And then let's say you're doing rice with dinner. So again, we want to try to get about 45 grams of carbs. So we'll do rice, white, cooked. So we want to do cooked, make sure it's cooked, not dry. We're going to switch this over to grams. And so if 100 grams of cooked rice has 28 grams of carbs. Let's see what 175 has. So it has 49 grams. We could possibly change this to 160. And there we have 45 grams of carbs in 160 grams of cooked rice. Same thing, you can add your veggie here. Let's do some green beans. Cooked from fresh, we'll switch this to grams and we'll do 100 grams. Okay, so we have lunch, dinner, and then let's go ahead and add in a breakfast. So breakfast, let's say you do some eggs. Actually, let's do oatmeal. So you're going to do dry oats, not cooked, because they will change in weight whenever you cook them. So let's say, again, if we want close to 45 grams of carbs at the meal, but let's say you're also adding blueberries, those are also going to be carbs. So let's say you want to do 50 grams of dry oats. That's going to give you 33 carbs. And then let's also do some blueberries. So we'll again do grams. Let's do 100 grams of blueberries. And then maybe some flaxseed. Again, flaxseed's going to be a pretty low calorie option. So we're just going to do about 15 grams, which is about a tablespoon. And then let's do some collagen for our protein. So half of a scoop is going to give us 10 grams. So the thing with breakfast is you can see here under breakfast, it's telling you how much all of these things are adding up to. So we're already up to 20 grams of protein, 53 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat. So we are a little bit over on the carbs, which is okay because we still haven't even hit it for the day. But the protein, we might want to just add a little bit of protein. And so one thing you could do here would be to do like some peanut butter or slivered almonds, some type of fat. And then also it's going to give you a little bit of protein. So we're just going to do 1 tablespoon, which is also 16 grams. Add it to diary. And so as you'll see, most of your meals are probably going to end up being somewhere around like 400 to 500 calories. That would be like the target I would shoot for. So we have breakfast, we have lunch, we have dinner, but we still obviously have macros left. So there's a couple of different options. Either you could make your meals more robust and go in there and increase the portions, or we could add in some snacks. I personally would suggest adding in some snacks. So if we have about 40 grams of carbs left, we have about 30 grams of fat and about 20 grams of protein. So an example snack could be a banana. I usually just do it based upon the size. So 1 medium banana. So getting really close to our carbs now. And then maybe eating some peanut butter with it. So we'll see what 2 tablespoons does. Okay, so that brings us up to 62 grams of fat. So now we have about 10 grams of protein, just a few on the carbs. But honestly, you're in that range. You're in the goal range for carbs and protein. So really, even if you didn't eat any more protein or carbs for the day, you would still be hitting the goal. But we could go ahead and add in, so if we have some protein and fat left for the day, we could add in, let's say, a slice of cheese. So again, I would just do this in ounces or grams and weigh it on the scale. And so even just adding some cheese, as a snack or putting it on one of your meals. You could also do some Greek yogurt here would be another good. Some whole milk Greek yogurt could be another good option. So doing, 150 grams, with maybe some like blueberries, doing like 50 grams there. So a little under on the fat target, right on track with the carb and right on track with the protein. So still overall a good win for the day. And you could honestly even add maybe some like almonds, some like slivered almonds to that Greek yogurt. Again, just as like an idea. So grams, looking at probably 15 there. And now you have a complete day that all fits within the targets. So at the end of the day, you really just want to be somewhere in the percentage range of anywhere from probably 90 to 110% is the goal, or plus or minus about 10 grams either direction on any of your macros.